it's important to understand how current incentive structures are working for existing layer 1 blockchains, the majority of which today are proof of stake. In order to secure the network, validators are trying to come to a consensus which transactions should be accepted and which ones should be denied. Each of these validators has to stake a number of the native assets. In the case of Ethereum, for example, it would be ETH, and it's illogical for them to put forward malicious transactions that the other validators would not come to consensus on as well, because then they're at risk of losing all of those assets. So basically the juice is not worth the squeeze. But all of the incentive here is on the actual validators themselves. If you look at Uniswap, the majority of the fee revenue that's going to these validators is coming from users that are using the Uniswap application. Now, none of those validator fees actually end up on Uniswap or to the Uniswap developers. And then that forces Uniswap to actually charge an additional fee that gets passed on to the end users. One of our portfolio companies is called Archway, a layer 1 blockchain built on Cosmos. And the goal of Archway is to incentivize development. The incentive structure in which they've set it up is such that that ends up bringing forth the most use for the blockchain. They end up with a bigger share of the actual validator rewards themselves. For example, let's say it's 50-50. If you're Uniswap and you want to deploy on Archway and everyone is using your application, the validator rewards that are there, 50% of them will end up with the actual validator that secured that transaction, facilitated that transaction, but 50% of those rewards would end up back in the hands of the developers. What that does is if you're a new developer or a new project and you're trying to decide where you want to build your chain, there's a great incentive there for you to build on top of Archway because of the additional fees that you're probably going to receive to carry on your project and to hire new developers and basically just to bolster yourself within the community. And the way that they've set up the tokenomics and this incentive structure to reward developers for coming to their ecosystem.